Hello, brother.
Yes, hello. Hi.
I want to ask you one question regarding the increasing sensations of LGBTQ in Nagaland. How would you aware our young generations regarding LGBTQ?
It's a very interesting question. I don't know if I can answer it to the viewer's satisfaction. Anyway, it's a great privilege to take part in this video. And yes, this is a very concerning issue in Netherlands. Prevailing sensation that we are witnessing these days. But when we see historically, this homosexuality is not a new thing. It even existed in the old times, and even today it is quite prevailing, not only here in Netherlands, but we can see every nook and corner over the world where the homosexual community are celebrating as a kind of pride movement today. And for Netherlands, this is quite a new and fresh issue, which is culturally and socially not suitable with the people of Netherlands. So, even in the news, we have heard how people have responded and reacted when few groups of the homosexual community express and have a meeting on behalf of themselves. And yeah, to say now homosexuality, if I would agree or I would disagree. From the biblical point of view, it is very much clear, it's very clean, crystal clear that homosexuality is not appropriate morally, socially and culturally. And yeah, we can also see that homosexual people are, how I believe it is like this. It is an illusion that they have in their mind. And despite of knowing that, even in the Bible, that it is clear that homosexuality is a sin and it is against God. And even in the Old Testament and New Testament, we can see that homosexuality is attributed as the shameful desire of humankind practicing throughout the history. And today, whenever a person, be it a Christian or secular, whenever they stand against homosexuality, they are termed as homophobic. Now, I want to say that disagreeing and hating is quite different thing. For me personally, I disagree with the notion, with the idea of homosexuality. But I do not hate the people who are involved in this kind of activities. Now, many a times, people who disagree, who fail to agree with this homosexual community, today, in most of the cases, not only in Netherlands, but in most of the cases around the world, they are termed as homophobic. So that is what I wanted to clear about homosexuality. And now, let's talk about one more issue that is going on in Netherlands also. And this has been a concern even among the theologians and scholars. Like, is it okay for the church to include homosexual people in the activities? Now, coming back, this community, they think that they are born in that way, or I am who I am, like this. They think that they are born in that way, and then they think that they don't need to change. And this is what goes against the Bible. You see, in the Bible, what it teaches us is we have to deny ourselves. We cannot be who I am. I cannot be who I am and worship God. Because who I am is a sinner. And a sinner needs a savior. So until and unless I cannot hate myself, until and unless I cannot hate myself, until and unless I cannot hate who I am, I cannot worship God. Or let's say, I cannot be forgiven by God. Because to be forgiven by God, I have to hate myself. And I have to submit my flaws, my shortcomings to God. And that is what it is lacking with our beloved brothers and sisters who are engaged in homosexuality. And because they believe that they are born in this way, and they think that it is not wrong to be, to be homosexual, to be lesbian, gay, bisexual, asexual, or whatever, and so on. And for me, if I should say, the church should engage to cooperate and then to bring the homosexual people in the church and allow them to participate in the church. But only under one condition, that they must deny themselves. Not only the homosexual people, but even every human being who comes to Christ, who comes to God, who wants to belong in the church, they must deny themselves. They must deny themselves and then they must come to Christ. Even, which means we have to be born again. I have to be born again, you have to be born again, and even our brothers and sisters who are in homosexuality, they have to be born again. And only when we are born again, we can truly receive the grace and enjoy the salvation. You see, becoming a Christian or being forgiven by God is not just, receiving the forgiveness of God. But, in the process of time, God also delivers us from our sin. God also transforms us to a new life. And I know brothers and sisters who are struggling with this sexual attraction. You must be thinking it is very much natural to you. But we must not conform with the pattern of our feelings. But we must be conformed and changed and transformed in the way God directs us to be. In the way God designed us, the very purpose. The very purpose that God has designed us, how to live and how to act in this world. So whenever we fail to see ourselves, and whenever we fail to overcome, and whenever we fail to, whenever we struggle with any kind of sin, we must come to Christ. We must come to Christ denying ourselves. We must come to Christ denying who I am. Only when I hate myself, only when you can hate yourself, only when you can hate your sin, only when I can hate my sin, I can truly put my flaws in God, and then God can lead me. He can guide me. He can guide you to transform us. And in this way, I urge the community, the homosexual community, and not only them, but the church, to understand this very thing. We should not only condemn those who sin, but we must also give them a chance, give them the gospel, give them guidelines how to transform a personal life, be it homosexual or any kind of human being who are struggling with sin.
So guys, I hope you all have learned something regarding that LGBTQIA plus through biblical. Any ideas or something to say, then you can please comment down on our comment section. Take care everyone, spread awareness, spread love, and see you all in next video.
Bye bye.
Bye.